Indie Radio presents The Spotlight, Internet Radio Show, Season 14. The program that puts the spotlight on independent content creators. Each week, our hosts bring to you entertaining and thought-provoking episodes. This is your home for news about television, film, gaming, and much, much more. Join us live here every Wednesday as we bring to you interviews and biting commentary. And now, your hosts, Jen and Kente. Okay, there was so much wrong with that intro. One is this is season 15. Two, it doesn't say Olaf. So, yeah, that's not the correct intro. So I'll have to fix that. But anyway.
Well, you did have me first, so that was actually really awesome. Thank you, Kente.
Well,
I've been waiting for this moment for a long time.
Well, you know what? Hey, you didn't have me in there. I'm out of here.
Hilarious.
I'll do my best Olaf impression as we go through.
Right.
Whoa, that's a tall order to fill. Anyway. I'm sorry, go ahead, Kente.
This is episode 263. And man, we're gonna talk about a lot of stuff on this show. We're not gonna be on terribly long, but I just wanted to, it's been a while since we've done the show, and starting next Tuesday we'll get on a regular schedule. So I said, you know what, let's have fun and just kind of talk. So of course I have with me here, I have both Olaf.
Hey.
And of course, Jen.
Hey.
Yes. So, man, 2019 is. Is that your gun?
No, it wasn't me.
No.
This time.
All right, 2019 is shaping up to be an interesting year. So much is going on this year in the world of entertainment. You have some major, films coming out. You have a series that a lot of us really love is saying goodbye this year as well. And some shows are coming back as well. And it's shaping up to be an interesting 2019. So we're going to talk television a little bit later, but I wanted to start off in film. This year, there's going to be some more interesting films coming out. You have Endgame coming out, and Avengers Endgame. A lot of people are looking forward to that. And actually, you know what? Let me pull up a list for you guys of movies that of 2019. We'll have a graphic to show. All right. So I'm going to pull it up, this graphic. We're using Google. We have Captain Marvel is coming out. We have Alita Battle Angel, which we'll talk a little bit more. That's coming out as well. Or it's out. I'm sorry, it just came out. We have Aladdin. We're going to talk a little bit about that as well. Toy Story 4, another X-Men film, Glass, which already came out. And Star Wars at the end of the year. And there's more stuff, another Spider-Man film, Dumbo, The Lion King. I mean, it's going to be a big year. The Joker film, Godzilla, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, the Hobbs and Shaw movie comes out this year. Rocket Man, Pet Cemetery as well. And let's see, anything else? Sonic the Hedgehog. Interesting. All right, so let's go back to the beginning of the year. I did get a chance to see Glass. I don't know. Did you guys see Glass at all?
No, I haven't seen that one.
And what about you?
I did.
Okay, so we're not going to spoil anything tonight, but I'll say I saw Glass. I was very disappointed in Glass. I didn't really enjoy it. And I'm actually rooting. I'm one of those people who actually roots for M. Night Shyamalan. you know, because I think he's talented. He's extremely talented, but
After you saw the movie, did it leave you feeling half full or half empty?
definitely half empty.
Shattered.
Shattered.
The correct answer is shattered.
Shattered. Yes. I mean, what a great setup for a third film, you know, and it was squandered. Maybe he needed another 20 years, you know, in between the films.
No, you know, wait. I liked it. I did. I can't say that I loved it. I mean, I wasn't going to go pay to see it again, but
Right.
I did like it. It was fun. It did have some really interesting moments. And again, it's hard to even say anything without spoiling it, so I won't say anything specific, but I will say that there was a lot of really cool little character twists and turns, which I did like a lot. What I feel like was sort of happening though is a little bit like what I felt like with some of the other M. Night Shyamalan movies, where it feels like his heart isn't in it at all.
Mm.
Like what could have been sort of grand and just one more little pop would have made it so much better. It's like, yeah, okay, go ahead, we'll just do this. Like, I could almost imagine him just sort of like initialing lines of dialogue going, yeah, that's good, yeah, all right, that's good enough. And it felt like it needed more, but it wasn't bad. It was, I definitely don't think that I wasted my money to go see it. I felt like it was definitely worth watching, and it was worth watching on the big screen. It did feel big enough to watch on the big screen.
Yeah, well, I didn't quite enjoy it. I was disappointed. Maybe a second view, like on cable. I'm not going to pay to see it again, but second view, maybe I'll. Now that my expectations are a little are lessened, I'll enjoy it on a second view. Probably not, but yeah, that was definitely. I mean, I suggest people should see it, especially if you like Split as well as Unbreakable. But yeah. So, but it's funny though, is if you put all the titles together, because they're all one word titles, you have, well, you know what? What is, if you make it into one title, all those titles together, what do you got?
Split, Unbreakable Glass.
No, you got Unbreakable Split Glass.
Now see, this feels like a glass is half empty versus a glass is half full argument.
No, I mean the movie's in order.
I know. Oh, okay.
Yeah, my bad. I should clarify. That's what I was going for.
I thought you were trying to make. I thought I was trying to. I really thought I was supposed to be like edgy about it.
But
apparently not.
If you take away the middle film, you just got Unbreakable Glass.
which arguably you almost could have had. We almost could have not had Split, and it almost would have just made as much sense.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, we almost didn't need to even have Split in the middle for Glass to make sense. If we had just seen Unbreakable, it still would have made sense, I feel like. But you know who else was really good? Sarah was really good in that movie.
It would have shattered
awesome.
It would have shattered all your expectations, though.
There are so many. Like, I forgot that It Chapter 2 is coming out as well.
Yeah.
John Wick 3. It's a lot of movies that I'm looking forward to seeing. And I'm sure there's some movies in between as well. There was a movie that I did. Oh, and The Irishman too. Looking forward to that as well. But
also just a plug for Robert the Bruce also comes out, which I know everybody is just going to run to go see.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yes. Well, I will anyway.
And the untitled Annabelle film too. We might as well throw that in there. Robert the Bruce and
Robert the Bruce has Zach McGowan, so that's why I'll go see it.
All roads lead back not to Rome. All roads lead to Rome. They go right back to Zach McGowan. If you don't know who Zach McGowan is, Google him.
Listen, you at least have to give me partial credit for being so tenacious, okay?
Yeah, yes. Some people would say even stalkerish, if it's
Some people. All right, Kinte. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
you're gonna be on the spinoff of You. Now, there's another film I saw this year, um, about a week ago. It's called Serenity. I don't know if you guys seen that one.
Oh, I didn't see that, but I did hear some pretty interesting things about it.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people hated it. I thought it was okay. I mean, it was cool. Um, you
What's
know,
the tagline?
the what is it?
It was a peaceful film, I guess. I don't
Uh,
know.
I forgot what the tagline was for it. What was it? Or you just asking me?
No, no, I really am asking.
I
I'm
don't even
actually
remember.
curious.
It's you want to see Matthew McConaughey naked. That's the tagline.
Ooh. So it's Magic Mike with better features?
I just tuned that scene out, so
Wow.
so I don't even remember what happened on that. But yeah, it probably wasn't worth going to see in the theater, but I mean, I enjoyed it for what it was.
You totally forgot. Wait, so this year, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to break the continuity, but wasn't it billed to be something like really awesome?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it kind of people were finding themselves walking out of the theater, sort of checking those expectations a little bit.
Well, one is every time I mention I saw Serenity, the first thing all my nerd friends said.
Did they make a movie out of that?
That movie came out 10 years ago. What are you talking about? Firefly.
Is Joss Whedon active again? Oh my god!
Right? It's a sequel to like no,
Oh
but
god!
no. I mean, it was okay. I don't want to say too much because it probably will ruin the experience for people. But it was okay. It was worth watching to a certain degree. So, but we're gonna do another pop quiz.
Okay.
What does Avengers Endgame, Captain Marvel, Aladdin, Toy Story, Dark Phoenix, The Lion King, Dumbo, Spider-Man Far From Home, Star Wars, Episode 9, uh, all have in common? Two as well. And Toy Story.
And Toy Story. They're all expected to make a bunch of money at the box office.
That's pretty good. What about you?
They're all scored by Bear McCreary. No.
What about you? What do they all have in common? It's pretty obvious.
They're all movies.
They're all done by Disney.
There you go. That is it.
Ooh, took me a second.
Even though Dark Phoenix was is Fox, but they own Fox now. But yes, those are all Disney films.
Damn.
And yeah, I mean those are the most anticipated movies of the year. Definitely, I think Star Wars is going to have a bounce back with this new film. That's not based on anything but me just thinking it will. And so between Avengers Endgame as well as Star Wars Episode 9, those are going to be the big ones. And Captain Marvel will make a lot of money, but then you have Toy Story 4, Frozen 2, Dumbo, and The Lion King as well. So let's start off with Aladdin of all places. Sorry, I got a text at the same time.
Those memes just write themselves, by the way.
Yeah, what do you guys think about Blue Will Smith? Let me see if I can pull up Blue Will Smith while we're talking.
So please pull up the meme of the Blue Men, the Blue Men band. Please pull up that meme of them asking him what he's doing.
Here you go. Will Smith Blue Man Group meme. I haven't seen this one. So this will be the first time. All right, let me. Okay, so while we say that, what do you think about?
Oh, okay. So you know what? When I first saw it, I actually thought it was a joke. I'm so sorry. I actually feel kind of bad about thinking that, but I really thought it was somebody's joke, like a Photoshop joke. And then when I found out that it was, no, this is what it really is, I don't know. It sort of started to grow on me a little bit. I don't know if it's as bad as people think it is.
Really?
I don't know. I don't know. I wish that they hadn't done it that way, though. I mean, it seems like the weirdest choice to do personally. Why not just leave Will Smith Will Smith?
Yeah.
I don't really understand the choice of making him into a giant Smurf. That didn't really make a whole lot of sense to me.
Yeah, that to me, oh God, to me that's crazy.
It's funny because you know how in Beauty and the Beast when they did the real life adaptation for it, the movie,
Hmm.
I feel like they did a really good job of not making the Beast so super anime-ish, like they did a good job with it. I mean, it wasn't perfect, but they did a pretty good job with it. But here, I feel like, oh, why are they trying to create a cartoon out of real life? Like, I know there must be somebody must have had this great idea and said, "Oh my gosh, yeah, this is going to be great." But I don't understand how that came about. Do you guys know?
No idea.
No clue.
No idea. That this is he looks is this the one when you're a rapper but really want to join the Blue Man Group?
Yeah.
Hilarious. Yeah, he looks goofy. He looks goofy as hell on there. Man, I don't know, man.
And the thing is, he's not even Robin Williams, right? I mean, I could almost see if it was Robin Williams, it almost might work, but no, no.
Yeah, this is he looks creepy.
He does. He does. Although, I don't know. I mean, it's not bad. I don't feel like it's not the end of the world. It's not I wouldn't not see the movie just because of it. But it's just such an odd artistic choice.
Yeah, because everything else in the movie, I mean, like from the trailers and stuff, it looks
Yeah.
good. I mean, it looks. I mean, of course, it's going to be well done because, you know,
Even the costuming looks really nice, which I was sort of worried about. It sort of made me a little nervous that they were going to do something super weird with them. But even the costumes look nice.
mm,
So why they chose to do Will Smith that way, I don't know.
I have no idea either. Yeah, it's crazy, but yeah, that was.
Maybe, maybe they just really don't like Will Smith at all. And so they were like, the only way to really torture this guy enough, in our opinion, is to make him sit in makeup for 6 to 8 hours a day. And that'll teach him.
Oh yeah, and give him all that money too to go along with it.
I mean,
Yeah,
I
that.
didn't say I didn't say they were smart about it. I just said, yeah.
Okay, so what do you guys think about uh the Lion King? Uh, which looks like it's almost a shot for shot remake, live action.
I don't know. How do you feel about it, Olaf?
um, I don't know. I hadn't seen it, or I've seen previews for it, but yeah,
See,
guess it'd be all right. Yeah.
when they did the Jungle Book, right? I liked the Jungle Book. I thought that was good. I feel like they did a good job. But then when Netflix did it, it was terrible. So I guess it could go either way.
I guess it really depends on who does it and how much they decide they want to change. You know,
Yeah,
how much do they want to change it from the original,
Because
or add to it to make it better? They think. I don't know.
the animal shots in the Jungle Book that really worked. I mean, Not that, of course, you didn't always know that you were watching CGI. It's hard not to feel that,
Mhm.
but it really
Wait,
did work.
wait. The Jungle Book was CGI characters, CGI animals. Oh my God! Really?
Sorry, Olaf. Did I
Yeah.
spoil something for you? I'm so sorry.
It's like, yeah, well, yeah, well, that's all right. Zach's dead.
Baloo wasn't really Baloo. I'm sorry. But no, I mean really, the especially the wolf scenes, they were actually really, I liked them. I thought that they were really well done. So if they do something like that, CGI has come such a long way.
Oh
Just the
yeah.
ability to put things in motion in a scene is it's just come so far that I have a lot of faith that they could do something awesome with the Lion King. And if it's really shot for shot, I don't see how they can go wrong. The Lion King is such an excellent. It's just such a good story by itself.
Hmm.
Yeah, but shot for shot though, that's I don't like that because I mean I've seen that movie, so I want to see. I'm not a big fan of ports. Like where they kind of just port over the movie. Like I want to see like I don't know, like another interpretation of it, not just the same thing.
See, that's funny. Although, I mean, we were just sort of talking about something similar in our in between time. It's funny because half of the people I think really like the don't mess with the classic view of things, and
Hmm.
then other people like a little adaptation flair to it because you don't want to watch the same exact movie. But that the Lion King, I hate to break it to everybody, but the Lion King came out a long time ago, so there's a whole two generations of people that have never even seen The Lion King or have only, seen little clips of it or maybe not even seen the whole movie or who knows. And so for those people, maybe bigger and better is sort of like their first peek at what this is all about. I don't know, it's hard to say though because again, it's just going to depend so much on what kind of quality they decide to put into it. If it's done really well, maybe feeling like it's the same story, but being wowed by what they've done movie wise will make it feel like because they didn't really change the Jungle Book that much. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
And it was still really good. So I don't know.
I don't know. We'll see. I mean, I guess you can't. That's a safe way to go. I think is doing that, but then it's a lot of money, so I don't blame them. Also, Dumbo. Dumbo is coming out, which is I mean, they're doing a lot of these in the same year, calendar year. Dumbo and the Lion King and Aladdin, But yeah, so what do you think about Dumbo?
Well, of all the ridiculous storylines, that one has got to confuse me the most. And I don't mean the story confuses me. I mean, it confuses me why people really want to go see it. But wow, there is a hardcore fan base out there that want to see the flying elephant. It is, I mean, I'm actually taken aback by how many people really want to go see that movie.
Well, what I wish they would have done instead of Dumbo is I wish they did the story in which Dumbo is somewhat taken from, which is the true life story of Jumbo, the elephant,
Oh,
um,
right.
which is a great story. I mean, it's sad as well, but it's a wonderful story that intersects a lot of really interesting characters from history, and that to me, I would have rather seen like a really good, um, a really good movie done with that material. But I can understand Dumbo was probably a lot easier to sell. So the flying elephant, right? So,
Hmm.
but
Yeah.
yeah, but I'm sure it's gonna make a lot of money and it's gonna do well. Or you know what? Who knows? Maybe not. We'll see. Because remember, they thought Mary Poppins was a sure, smash, and it really didn't do as well as they thought it would.
See, that's why I think that it really depends on how well the movie is made. It's not always just the content, because there is this thing where that's why, like you said, it's a little bit perplexing about why they have so many Disney movies coming out in the same year. Well, no, I should preface that. It's not Disney movies because basically now the whole universe is Disney. It's why are they doing so many Disney classics
Right.
as live action remakes? And the only thing that sort of worries me about this is that people get super fatigued by seeing the same thing over and over again, and that does sort of make me think that maybe there's not quite enough bandwidth in movie theaters for all of this to happen. But maybe they're banking on, you know, DVD sale, DVR, the pay for play stuff. Pay for play. Oh my God, I've been watching too many politics shows.
Uh,
The straight, pay per view shows. Maybe that's sort of where they're going with it.
yeah, the use her friendly aspects of the business, right?
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah. That's honestly, I mean, there's got to be marketing behind this, and it does seem pretty astounding that they would release so many in one year without having some kind of forecast model behind it that said, okay, we can we can lose this much and still be okay, and maybe it's better to do it this way. Maybe the licenses were going to run out. I don't know. I am sort of reaching for stuff. I'm not really positive.
no, I feel you. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. We'll keep our eye on it, but I think that they're trying to, they're trying to rake in those dollars. They need to make up for what was their flops
John
this year.
Carter and Mars.
Oh yeah, right. I think they made up for that with a couple of those Avenger movies, but yeah, I guess that's what it is. But they got an ATM machine and they just print out cash.
It's true, right? I mean, what's kind of scary though, not scary like, horror movie scary, but scary in the sense of intellectual property scary. We see what Disney has, because Disney has now acquired Marvel. We see what an influence that had on Netflix, and Netflix just announced that they are no longer going to do Jessica Jones or The Punisher for any further seasons, which leaves zero Netflix Marvel pieces to be done. And they still have the license for it for a little while. So there's when these big companies come in and do this kind of stuff, it sort of makes me uneasy because that's when it feels like we end up getting stagnant with content. And I don't know, maybe it's been building for a long time, but
No, you're right. 100% right. Okay, so look, I as a kid was a huge Godzilla fan. I saw all the movies, couldn't wait for those Godzilla marathons. And in 2000, Roland Emmerich and Dean Devlin made a terrible film using Godzilla. And
oh
then,
God, that was awful.
and a couple of years ago, they made a Godzilla film. I think it was like 2000, was it 14? Was it? When they made the Godzilla, so I won't be talking out my butt.
Oh, that was a terrible one too.
Um, in 2000, where is it?
And so was Cloverfield pretending to be Godzilla.
Yeah, it was 2014. There was a Godzilla film done by Gareth Edwards, who also you may not know this. Gareth Edwards did Rogue One, Star Wars
Oh,
story.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, and I'll be honest with you, I was not in love with the Godzilla film from 2014. Now, Skull Island was a better movie than the Godzilla, and I say better like very. I mean, it was. If I had a gun in my head, I would probably watch Skull Island, and I'm not a King Kong fan.
It was a better done movie. It was a better written movie.
And it was more entertaining. It was much more entertaining.
Yeah, it was that one was good. Skull. I did actually see Skull Island. That was. I
But didn't
enjoyed
that
that.
have Samuel L. Jackson in it?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
See, I mean, I feel like you can make up for a lot of bad writing by just putting Samuel L. Jackson in anything.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So there you go.
So that movie actually got me interested in the MonsterVerse, and this year, 2019, May 31st, I will be there to watch this Godzilla, King of the Monsters, which is a great title. And this is Godzilla going down. He's getting down. He's fighting Mothra, Rodan, and King Ghidorah, or some people say King Ghidorah.
Ghidorah.
Yeah, Ghidorah. Um, the three-headed monster known as King Ghidorah. Honestly, he could have been the only villain. I mean, I hope you know. I find it interesting though that they're using all of those in this one movie.
Didn't they wait, wasn't there a Godzilla movie where it was Godzilla, Mothra, and another against Ghidorah?
Yeah,
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 there was, right? Yeah, that's right. Okay.
right. Yeah, yeah.
The
Um,
twins called that. I remember that. That's right.
yes, and it looks pretty cool. It has Millie Bobby Brown from Stranger Things and her big screen debut.
Who
Uh,
did the VFX?
I don't know. It's a great question that I'm not prepared to answer.
Oh, sorry.
Uh,
We should have coordinated this before the
right,
show.
right. Some really good people do it. They're amazing. These people. But so this is all to set up the King Kong versus Godzilla film that's coming out, and I'm looking forward to this movie. I mean, I think it's gonna either be awesome. The previews look great, but the previews always look great, or it's gonna be like, oh god, you know. So,
Yeah. Sometimes the best part of the movie is the preview and the trailer.
right, right. The trailer was when the trailer came out. I was like, they done sucked me in. Like, I really want to see it. Like, because it reminds me of my childhood. I was a huge, like I said, I
Oh,
was.
did you grow up with monsters?
Yeah. Oh man.
Wow.
Yeah. It was King Ghidorah would come in my neighborhood all the time. We had to shoot him. So I definitely can relate to that point. No, it's Godzilla. Godzilla. Like I'm telling you, Godzilla. I was a huge Godzilla fan. There were some Godzillas where he or she, because the gender changes. I think it's mainly Godzilla is known as female in most films. Uh, Godzilla had a child in some. Godzilla spoke in one. Oh God, this.
Oh, no. No,
Yeah,
we shouldn't talk about that. I don't think that's canon.
right. And Godzilla has a dance. Believe it or not, I'm talking about old school Godzilla actually has a dance.
Yep.
Let me see if I'm about to delight you guys by finding the
Are you
Godzilla dance.
are you going to do the Godzilla dance for us?
You know what? If the movie is good, I'm gonna say this. If the movie's good, I will do the Godzilla dance. That's the Godzilla dance, y'all.
That's so epic.
Yeah, like Godzilla's getting it too. Look at Godzilla. Godzilla. So I'm like I said, I'm looking forward to this movie. It's gonna either be awesome or we won't even talk about it. So
I'm gonna betray sort of how old I really am by saying that when I was younger, there was this movie theater that was not too far away from where we lived, and on Sundays you could go in and there would be a matinee, and it was a double feature, and every Sunday was basically creature feature. So every Sunday it was some Ray Harryhausen movie or a Godzilla flick or one of the monsters, creature from the Black Lagoon, or the Invisible Man. I think they deemed was too inappropriate for children. I don't know why, but there was always something like that, and it was a double feature that was like so. I grew up basically every Sunday watching the monster movies inside of the theater, and it was such a huge experience. So anytime, I feel like that's one of the reasons that I keep getting so excited about the Cloverfield movies, even when they are disappointing. I'm still so excited to see them because they're still celebrating the monsters, and it still always feels like, ooh, maybe this time it'll be good. So I'm with you. I'm super excited to see it.
See, now
Yeah,
I don't.
I can tell you why they wouldn't show the Invisible Man
Why?
and thought it was inappropriate for kids. Well, you got a man walking around naked all the time.
I
But you
mean,
couldn't
there
see
is
him, but
that.
you couldn't see him, but he was naked the whole time.
Think of the children.
You know, a movie just as a sidebar that I actually really enjoyed, and I know a lot of people didn't like it, was Memoirs of an Invisible Man. I thought that was a really good movie. I
I
actually,
didn't see that yet.
yeah, that was a good one.
I tried to watch it, but I couldn't see it.
Because I believe that was John Carpenter. That was a John Carpenter.
Yeah, yeah, it was John Carpenter. It's one of the few John Carpenters that I haven't seen.
All right, so moving right along now, I know this next film that we're going to talk about that's coming out. Uh, let's just say Olaf can relate to this one.
Are there guns?
Yes, Olaf is probably the base. He's probably the character is probably based on Olaf, and he will probably beat me in line to see this film, and that's John Wick Chapter 3.
Oh, yeah.
Yay, John Wick.
Parabellum. I didn't even know that part was in the story. Parabellum. So that's May 17th. Oh, that's coming pretty fast. So look, John Wick, who is the most accurate gunman of all time. He could be running, in a catacomb in pitch, dark, but he sure will get that headshot all the time. He's gonna always
Yeah,
except
doing
for when it's the villain that he's actually after before the end, then that's when he can't shoot. but but you gotta
yeah,
love it. It's great
yeah.
movies.
Running through the catacombs, pitch black, doing cartwheels, and he hits you in the head. Yeah.
I love it. They just said in this second one, they said, look, if they look, we're gonna just do it. Like
You know,
it don't need to make sense no more.
the moment in the second one when they had the scene with the mirrors.
Mm-hmm.
I could watch that scene 1,000 times and never be bored. That is so good. That is so good, and for no good reason. It's just good.
Just good.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well,
Like
every time with all the mirrors there, every time you watch it, it's a different. You get a different point of view.
that is true. Hilarious. Yes. Yes. But yeah, looking forward to the film. Disappointed that Common is not going to be in it. It seemed like they were pretty solidly setting him up for the third film, and for some reason they didn't and he said it wasn't that he didn't want to do it or something. They just decided to go a different way. So but Halle Berry is going to be in it.
What you're saying is they just couldn't come to common ground. Huh?
They did pretty much. Yeah, because he said
Ian,
he wanted to do it. So
Ian McShane is back.
yeah. Oh, he had to be in it, right? So yeah.
It's really hard in the year that American Gods comes back to TV to know that Ian McShane will also be in John Wick, because I have a really difficult time separating him as Odin in American Gods whenever I see him now in almost any other role. Now I just automatically assume, oh wow, check it out. They're all hanging out with Odin. This is awesome.
so uh, funny. Now, this next film, and we're not going to do every movie. We just want to focus on some, and then maybe later we'll go more into it, because there's films like Zombieland Part 2, and then there's movies like the Terminator Dark Fate and Rocket Man and stuff like that. We can go on and on, but we just wanted to highlight some films so people can say, hey, you didn't talk about Hobbs and Shaw or whatever we're not gonna talk about. Eventually we'll probably get back to it, but I just wanted to highlight some films. Pet Cemetery. Okay, do y'all remember Pet Cemetery, the original?
Yes.
Cemetery?
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Okay, that movie was creepy as hell.
Mm.
The material is based on is very good as well. And I didn't think you could get any better than that one, especially with Fred Gwynn, in the original. But
I don't
this
know.
this one looks pretty awesome. I'm looking forward to seeing this, man. It has a great cast. Um,
Oh, this is another one, Kinte. This is another one where they gender swapped the person who dies.
right,
And and it created such a wow, the Twitterverse went sort of off its rails because of it. But I don't I you know it's sorry, excuse me. One of the things that is the most interesting about doing an adaptation is an adaptation. They're not doing an adaptation of Pet Cemetery the movie. They're doing an adaptation of Pet Cemetery the book.
right,
So anything that you come up with from Pet Cemetery the original material, which there's a lot of darker stuff that's even left out of the movie itself. I feel like you can't go wrong.
right. No, you can't go wrong. Not at all. Um, what a great cast though. You got Jason Clark. Can I take a moment? And he's in that film. Okay, he's in the film. Jason Clark. Do you guys know Jason Clark? Here, this is Jason Clark. He
Yeah.
he was on the show back in the day called The Brotherhood.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
He's
Okay.
in a lot of movies. All right, he's an Australian actor or whatever. Great actor, and he's in the movie Serenity. He plays the most glorious asshole of ever in this film. Like this guy is like assholey times 110. Just it's like how movies try to set you up to not like a character, right?
Yeah.
It's like they want you to hate this motherfucker so bad. Like, he says everything that I don't think a sentence comes out of his mouth that he shouldn't get slapped for.
Are you talking about Serenity or you're talking about Pet
No,
Cemetery?
well, I haven't seen Pet Cemetery. It hasn't come out yet. I'm just saying in Serenity.
Oh, okay.
I wanted to point out the reason why I'm doing this is Jason Clark, since the Brotherhood, has really been on a roll with just wonderful parts. He's a terrific actor. He's been in a lot of really good stuff.
And he plays the dad, right?
Yes. And he's been around for a long time.
Who
Uh,
plays Pascal? Do we know?
I'll get
Me.
to that in a second. But yeah, he's in like just really good movie after good movie. He's a terrific actor, and I just wanted to point that out. Okay, so you were asking, what were you asking?
Who plays Pascal?
Well, let's find out.
Me.
We're gonna find out who's playing Pascal.
Well, you, Olaf. Wow, that's revealing.
Don't see. Oh, here it is. Baisa Ahmed. I don't know this guy, or do I know this guy?
Ooh,
Let me
good
see.
choice.
Yeah, I haven't seen this. He doesn't look familiar to me, but
He's got a good look for that role.
Thank you. I worked hard on that.
So this is.
I had to get really in touch with my dark side, but I did it.
But that's who's playing. Oh, it says it right here. I went right over it.
And then John Lithgow is what's his name?
Yes.
Guy across the street.
Oh yeah, John Lithgow. That guy can roll out the bed and just.
He has such a range. Like, so I never would have believed that John Lithgow could ever scare me. Mm-hmm. But I watched. God, what did I watch? The one where he's like he has a brother and he plays himself and his brother, and it was
Raising Cain.
Oh, Raising Cain. Thank you. Oh my God, that was so scary.
Yeah. I always use that line too. The cat's in the bag, and the bag is in the river. So you hear me say that, I'm basically making a Raising Cain reference.
He's awesome. I really like him a lot. I do.
Oh yeah, and then him on Dexter. Oh my God.
Oh yeah, and on Dexter. That's right.
Yeah, he was.
That's right.
He was
Well,
amazing.
if that's the case, if the cat's in the bag and the bag's in the river, that means Zach the whale's gonna come get
All roads.
it.
So
All roads. Uh-huh. Go ahead.
I have to ask something. I just because I don't want to run out of time before we have a chance to at least talk about Captain Marvel and Avengers Endgame. So something that sort of makes me. Oh wait, before I forget, Stephen King actually commented on the Pet Cemetery. Said that he saw the advanced copy of it. He actually saw the screener copy of it, and he said that it was scary and it scared him. He felt like it was scary enough to scare him. So
Wow.
I don't. Yeah, maybe that was hyperbole on his part. I don't know, but I take a lot of what Stephen King says as if he's willing to say it, usually it's like off the cuff. So I feel like that was a good compliment for the movie to get.
Hmm.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. If you can
'Cause he will
scare,
talk bad about movies that is based on his stuff. So
No, but he could have just simply said something much less than what he did say, which I feel like bodes well.
no, what I'm trying to say is he does give good. He doesn't just say, oh, because it's based on his stuff, and he will actually give his opinion about
Right.
about it. So
Which I feel like he did with Needful Things,
mhm.
and it wasn't all that phenomenal. So yeah,
Mm.
yeah.
Okay, so the last film we're going to talk about, because remember, we can't get to everything. I feel like Avengers Endgame, when that gets closer, we'll probably talk about it a lot more. So I don't think that we don't need to address it right.
Okay, okay.
Same with Star Wars as well. But
Make me sad.
oh, we'll talk about it. We're going to, believe me, we won't be able to escape that. So let's talk about, oh, this is coming out really quick. I didn't realize how soon it was coming out. Captain Marvel.
Yeah, Captain Marvel's coming out right around the corner.
Yeah. So wait, I had it on the screen. March. What was it? March 8th. So Jude Law, the Pope, will be in it as well as Ben Mendelsohn and Samuel L. Jackson, and of course starring Brie Larson. So are you looking forward to it?
I am.
That's what
Uh,
we're talking about.
of all of the Marvel uh Avenger and just backstory stuff. Captain Marvel and well, I guess I'm just gonna say Captain Marvel. Excuse me, is one of my favorites. It's such a well done storyline altogether. There's so many interesting tie off points, tie in points. As a character, Captain Marvel is always written so excellently. So they've got some awesome source material to work with. I feel like they can't go wrong here.
Mm. Oh, I didn't. I'm sorry, I wasn't even in the chat room. Artis wanted to know what's the best movie for this year. I mean, it's pretty early, but I'm gonna go back to Captain Marvel in a second. And he said, "Have we saw a movie called Pear?" I have not. I've
I
never.
haven't either, but I did hear about that.
Oh, okay. No, I gotta check that out. The movie Pear, but yeah,
I
Captain
heard.
Marvel. You go ahead.
I heard Pear was a real peach.
But um,
God.
Captain Marvel, like, yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing it. Obviously, the way they got it set up is she's gonna be she's gonna be what help save the day as far as the Avengers is going. Um, and she's a very powerful character in
Well,
ways.
right,
Uh-huh.
right. We just to set things up properly, right? The Captain Marvel story is the story before
Hmm.
Infinity War.
Right.
So that's how
He has his
Nick that's right, that's how Nick has that little communicator to get in touch with her.
right.
Yeah.
All
Just
right.
making sure everybody knows that.
Oh yeah, definitely. For those out there, but it's going to definitely tie in to the end game. So looking forward to how that all shakes out. But no,
I,
it looks good.
I,
And
I feel like Captain Marvel is the perfect is the perfect transition movie to have as we sort of end Captain America
mhm,
or transition Captain America maybe to something else because the in the Marvel universe there's not a whole lot that feels as powerfully aligned good as the two of them. They definitely feel like they are aligned the best. You know what I mean?
right, right. No, no, it does. And I think a lot of people who are not comic book fans are gonna definitely they're gonna because I don't know that people really know about her backstory very well, like they do about some of the other characters. So
Yeah, that's
I think
true.
this will be definitely different. So
Well, also because because that story, because the Captain Marvel story is because it's told from a slightly different perspective because of where she comes from and because of just sort of the interactions that happen, they don't feel quite as interconnected, I think. That's why that story is a little bit harder to bring into the fold.
mhm.
So I am really glad that they're gonna launch that one before they launch Endgame because I feel like it would be I could see them doing it the other way around, but I'm glad that they're doing it this way.
Yeah, looking forward to checking that out. Um, all right, so before we transition to just talk a little television, I wanted to talk about the box office this this week. Let me drag this over so people can see what I'm looking at. Um,
Let me guess, Aquaman's still number one.
no.
Darn it.
All right, here we go. So here's the top 10. Number 10, we have the Green Book. Number 9, we have Prodigy. 8 is Glass. 7 is The Upside. 6 is Cold Pursuit. 5 is Happy Death Day to You. 4, What Men Want. That's the other film. 3, Isn't It Romantic? And 2 is the Lego Movie 2, the second part. And number 1 uh, is Alita Battle Angel, which pulled in 37 million. That's very low compared to what they had hoped.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that is the top films. In Aquaman though, it is no longer in the top 10, but it did very well.
Yeah.
It's run. I mean, and Spideyverse too. Uh,
Yeah.
yeah, it was a big hit.
I,
Glass.
just by way of a little bit of anecdote, there were people asking out here. There were people asking at my local Target if they could pre-order copies of the Spider-Man movie. That was crazy. Like I've never seen that before.
Yeah, that's bananas. Yeah, I. It's funny though. Of all those movies in the top 10, I've only seen I've only seen Glass.
That's all I've seen too.
Yeah, and I haven't seen Aquaman yet.
You didn't see Aquaman?
No, actually, I'm looking at this in the top 20.
Wow.
Bohemian Rhapsody and I just seen that and Glass are the only movies I've seen. Man, you got to go down. Man, I ain't really seen none this year, huh?
that's
Oh, wow.
because there's no more Movie Pass,
Yeah, that makes a big difference.
right?
That definitely makes a big difference. So, yeah, no, yeah, I didn't even think about that. Yeah. So that's and let's real quick to see what's coming out. Um, what is this weekend? This weekend it's the 20th. So we're looking at the 22nd. You have How to Train Your Dragon, uh, and you have Run the Race. Are the next films coming out this weekend?
I
So
I would go see How to Train Your Dragon.
I will take the kids.
Yeah. Well, maybe I'll just take myself and pretend I have kids.
Okay.
Oh, that's like yeah. I'd go see the How to Train Your Dragon. I like the first ones, so I watch
Th-
them every once in a while.
they're actually really fun movies.
They are. They're
Yeah.
good.
Yeah. Okay. So now that we are out of that, we'll stop sharing there. Um, I wanted to, before we move on, I know both of you guys haven't seen this season of True Detective, have you?
No,
I'm almost caught up. I'm about halfway through now.
Okay.
I'm
You see,
I'm I'm
do you
pretty
see
blown
now?
away.
Do you see why I now wish that we did
Yes.
did a show on it?
Yes.
Um, if you can watch the finale, we will at least cover the finale.
Oh, okay.
But Olaf, if you want to just do yourself a favor, watch. You don't have to have seen seasons 1 and 2. They're all each season is self-contained,
Yeah, they're very independent.
right? So
okay.
you don't have to see it. Season 3 of True Detective is like the best thing right now on television to me.
And and it honestly, I didn't think it was possible to be better than season one. And maybe it's not better, but it is on par with season one.
It is it is remarkable. First of all, I mean, um Mahershala Ali, if he doesn't get the Emmy for his performance, I mean, I can't think of a more deserving. I mean, it definitely needs to be nominated, but his performance is outstanding.
Yeah.
He plays his character in three different time zones, three different time periods. One in 80, one in 90, and one in 2015. So he plays. And if you don't know who Mahershala Ali is, it's this brother right here. Um, Let me see if I can pull up this guy right here. Is Mahershala Ali. This dude is killing it. And then he plays the old. This is the old him. Um, his performance is so nuanced and so well done. And I mean, first of all, the dialogue is amazing, and all of that. But he just every scene he steals every scene,
And
even
he
not saying anything. I mean, the guy is just he's definitely one of the best actors working today.
and he ages himself so well.
Oh yeah, I
All
think
those
the
all
makeup.
those just like little subtle, but you're right, the makeup is one thing for sure, but he's got all these like little subtle uh ticks
Movements.
in his acting. Yeah, and it's so subtle that like unless somebody really points it out to you, you probably wouldn't notice, but they're so well done and they're exactly what you would imagine as every decade goes by. You just sort of pick up a couple of new things and it's just so well done.
It's an acting class,
Yeah,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
well,
and
it's not too hard when you do the aging thing. As you get older. It's the older you get, the harder it is for you to move. So when you start walking slower and you can't quite, and you moan and groan more when you bend over and things. It's not hard to do.
and also, I don't know if you guys seen. I see Steph in the chat as well. She said season 3 is better than season 1. Yeah, yeah, yeah. We're on the same page. Also, I don't know if you guys ever seen the movie Blade. But the villain from Blade was played by Stephen Dorff, who is his partner in this season. I'll be honest with you, I ain't never seen him good in anything until this. Like I didn't think of him as like a really good actor.
Wow.
So he must have taken some acting classes or something because he's a really good. I mean, he's very good. I think he should be nominated as well because his performance as his partner is spot on, just really good, very good work. I really wish we had covered this show. I don't even know why we didn't. I blame myself, but it's so good. And one thing I noticed, one thing, and I think you noticed this too, and you can see it in the other 2 seasons. Is he's obviously a David Lynch uh, fan,
Yeah.
he's been inspired by David Lynch because
Yeah.
you see like David Lynch type stuff all through, you know, and
Yep.
and especially this last episode, the penultimate episode, episode 7, which I'm not going to spoil it if you haven't seen it, because I wouldn't want to ruin it. But the penultimate episode, the score, first of all, was out of this world. Everything. The transitions was great. Just and the way it ended, and it ended with your boy. Maybe I shouldn't say that, but your boy is making an appearance on the show. Oh God, what's his name? He played Merle on The Walking Dead.
Oh, Rooker, Michael.
Yeah,
Rooker.
Michael Rooker. Yeah. Well, he's just the voice in this episode, but it was pretty obvious that's Michael Rooker's voice going forward, playing a pivotal character. But if anyone hasn't seen this, who maybe they loved the first season, hated the second season, and like, I don't want to see it, see this season. This season, top notch. It's really like the best. I think it's the best stuff on TV right now for sure. So definitely check that out. So I'm glad you saw it. And like I said, if you watch that finale, we'll definitely cover it.
I have it on HBO on demand, so I can get it. It took me a little while to catch up.
Yes. Steph is saying the second season made no sense. Yeah, they rushed out that second season, and you can see because he took about 3 years, was it 3 or 4 years?
Yeah,
to do this
the first one,
and you can tell like he needed time. So this is going to be one of those shows like kind of like Curb or like some of these other shows where he's going to have to just take some years to put together this kind of work.
Well, definitely this season over last season it's not just a vast improvement. It's like a whole totally different show. But the most striking thing is the dialogue. The dialogue is so well put together and it's so tight in this season that there are times when I always watch TV now with captions on just because I always feel like I might miss something that somebody has said. So I can go back and rewind and see again what someone has said. And sometimes, what's happening in the scene doesn't always line up with the dialogue. And it's so awesome because it feels like there's something happening on screen that you're supposed to be aware. It's just one of those things that's like it makes people who love shows, who love that correlation between dialogue and the cinema and the visual narrative, it makes you happy to see that stuff. Like somebody cared enough about the story to put that thought into it.
Yeah, and also the lady who plays his wife, I don't have her name pulled up. She does a remarkable job too, and their relationship I really love because this is like a portrait of a relationship, and the ups and downs, when you first meet, how you like each other, and the ups and downs and having kids and all that stuff. And I think that it's so well done. I mean, the way that they did it, it's definitely the best like relationship aspect of the 3 seasons, better than in the first and the second season. But and I think that her character is a very well written character, and she doesn't just exist as his wife or his girlfriend or whatever.
Right.
She has her own storyline, and I think she's a very well developed character, and they play very great off of each other, and even in happier times as well as times where it's not the happiest. And I think that's well done. And his relationship with Cyborg, his son, I don't know if you realize that Cyborg from plays his son, Ray Fisher, I believe is his name.
He's good too.
He's really good too. He gives a great performance. Yeah. She has her own storyline and her vices. Yeah, very nuanced. So, and the father too. The father. That scene where, well, I don't want to ruin it for anybody, but there's a scene where the father is being he's being interviewed or interrogated. Oh man, that scene is great because the acting in that scene was like top notch. So yeah, it's bittersweet that the finale is this Sunday because I think it's only 8 episodes. So, but definitely is watch this. Watch this. I'm calling it a film, but watch this TV series. Though you'll like it, Olaf. It's very good. True Detective season 3. They definitely are back with this one.
Yeah, I think he'd.
Oh,
I think
you
he'd like it too.
Yeah, definitely.
So
what's that? What
Mhm.
network is that on?
HBO.
HBO. Okay.
HBO.
Yeah, HBO. So,
Okay, so
mhm.
I just want to throw one series out there that I feel like has gotten zero love.
Okay.
I mean, from anybody that I know. It's called Project Blue Book. Remember I
Oh
was telling
yeah,
you
I
about
want to see
this?
that. Yeah, I thought if you said
It
Project
is so.
Runway, I was gonna be like, what the? Okay.
No, this is Project Blue Book. And I talked to some people who I was extolling the virtues of this show and saying how amazing I thought it was, and they thought that I was talking about something that was like um old and stuffy, and oh, it's probably going to be terrible because I heard it was about the 1950s. And I was like, oh, okay, you have no idea what you're talking about. This is what they do is they go through the files of what the military actually called Project Blue Book, right? And so there's all of these case files where they tried to come up with explanations for the crazy things that people saw in the skies, things that they attributed to aliens, things that they, and some of it is, it's just astounding. It's astounding the backstory of the military and what they were really trying to cover up. And it's astounding that these two guys who are so mismatched are together and they explain these things in all these little science pieces. And somehow the show manages to have this really deep character depth to it. The guy who played Littlefinger
Yeah.
in Game of Thrones? So
Alien Gillen or something like that.
right, he's the lead. He's one of the leads, and his character is so amazing. I thought I would be put off by the fact that I'd just be watching Littlefinger run around and it's not going to be all that great. But the moment that he starts to speak, he the expressions, the mannerisms, everything about him just it's just tailored for this character. It's just perfect. I really highly suggest that you watch it. It's still on. It's on History Channel, and it is just. I mean, it's really worth watching.
I see it. It says Mr. X from the X Files. Stephen Williams. He was in on Project Blue Book, which he was also on um, True Detective season 3.
That's right. That's
Yeah.
that's part of the reason that I was remembering that there's this little thing. Yeah. But I mean, it's really good. And when we were talking about dialogue,
Uh-huh.
one of the things that makes Project Blue Book so excellent
Mhm.
is they never try to shoehorn the dialogue. It never feels forced. It always feels, and I mean, they're talking about some crazy stuff, right? But it always feels that, and also the fact that his wife has her, like, just like in True Detective, has her own very specific storyline that kind of it works in sort of a congruous way with the main storyline, but it's so fascinating because she becomes an entity all by herself that is interesting and worth watching. It's not just the one watching these two guys run around trying to figure out X-File stuff. It's something so much different than that. So it's not an X-Files show.
It's
It
not
is
X Files ripoff.
it's not. It really isn't. And again, just the technical aspect of the show is so amazing. I mean, they use some really awesome filters to do some great effects. But there's something about it's the dialogue, and the costuming is just great too. I don't know, just everything has this sense of excellence to it. It is one of those history drama shows that they put a lot of time, a lot of effort, and a lot of thought into. So it's really worth it.
Okay, and that was something before I went off to Chicago. I saw the posters and I was like, I want to check this out. So it'll be even better because I can binge watch it. So yeah, it looks pretty good.
And it's got quite a full complement for a first series.
Yeah,
History clearly thought it was going to go someplace.
that's good. Okay, and it Robert
And
Zemeckis.
And I think it's already been greenlit for season 2.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Okay. And one last show I want to talk about, even though it came out last year, but I feel like people seems to be watching it now, um, because uh, it was actually a Lifetime show, and it got canceled from Lifetime, and Netflix picked it up, and I just completed it, and I see that a lot of people seem to be on it now, and it's a show called You. Have you seen that one, Olaf?
No, it's like I'm right now in between places, so my TV channel selection is kind of slim.
Okay. Well, I know that you saw it. uh, Jen saw it. I guess we're gonna keep
I
running.
saw it.
Yeah, we're gonna keep running into that. If you guys haven't seen the show you, it's the show, and it's funny because it's like you don't want to ruin too much of it, but it's a show
so
that.
so wait. When you say that, when you say what it's about, when you say the tagline, right?
Hmm?
When you talk about when you hint what it might be about, a lot of people get super turned off and go, "I'm not watching a show about some crazy stalker." But it's so not that. Don't let anybody tell you that it's just a show about a crazy stalker. It's not. It
Well, then,
just isn't.
then the name of the show is wrong. So if it's about a crazy stalker, it should be called You. It should be called Me.
Right. Us.
Goof.
Uh, no, no. Okay, so the show is about a guy who meets this girl, and he basically starts to stalk her, and you're basically following his efforts to get her to fall in love with him. Now I know that sounds like, why the hell would you watch? I mean, when people were telling me, I'm like I had like Miosha told me about it and some other,
I'm not watching that show.
and I'm like, why the hell would I want to watch that? That sounds like the last thing I want to see. But uh it's actually a very good show, even though it was a Lifetime show, because Lifetime doesn't have a great track record.
Right.
But it's no longer a Lifetime show, so it's a Netflix show now. But it's a very good show. It's very good. Like, it's a little soap opera at times. Um, a friend of mine says it's uh, you know it gets teenagey, I guess, in a way.
Yeah, sometimes it does. Sometimes it feels a little CW-ish, right?
CW-ish, right.
Yeah, it's got a little of that going on. But
Hmm.
but the themes are definitely way above CW-ish
Oh yeah,
in stature.
yeah,
They're just way above that.
yes, and it's a little frightening, uh,
Yeah.
in a way, because how this person is able to manipulate a lot of situations to put himself in situations. Like, I don't want to say too much because I think too much was probably told to me before I saw it, but uh, just I'll say this: check it out. It's a really good movie. I just finished it. It was 10 episodes. I think I was pretty much one. It took probably about 3 episodes for me to really invest myself into it, but by the end, I was pretty invested. So, and there's going to be a second season, which they
Yep.
announced. So that's pretty good, and it's going to be based. This is based on a book by a woman named Caroline Kneps. I think that's how you say her name. And the name of the first book was called You, and the second book was called Hidden Bodies.
Yep.
So, oh, and it looks like it's about the same storyline. So,
Also do yourself a favor after you watch the movie.
uh-huh.
Go and seek out the clips that show you what the show is like without the over dialogue,
Oh,
without the over narration. Go and watch the clips,
okay, I
and
can
you
watch that now.
get a brand new fascination for how well these actors really took cues.
Okay, send me those links. I want to see that.
Oh, it's so good.
Because I finished it, so I can watch it. But don't let your friends spoil it for you. Just go ahead and check it out. It's really good, and it's a really good cast. And the lead on the show, this guy named Penn Badgley. I've never heard of this guy. He's really good.
He is.
He's really good on the show. His acting. He really sells the show with his performance.
Yeah, you don't want to root for him, but then you find yourself, you are rooting for him.
Yeah.
It's so sick.
The name of his first movie is called The Fluffer. What the hell kind of movie was that about? I'm scared, and this image right here doesn't look like. Oh man, I might have to skip some of his back catalog, but yeah. So check that one out. And before we go, I see in the chat room, Steph says she's gonna watch this movie called The Umbrella Society. I know I saw the. Let me pull this up. I know I've seen it. I think it's on Netflix, right?
Yeah, the Umbrella Society is actually it's based on some graphic novels, right? And it's that's one of those stories that's like that's really storytelling done well. The first episode of the Umbrella Academy, you got to get through it.
Say society.
A society. I'm sorry. You're right.
Or is it society or no? It's academy. No, it is.
No, it's academy. Wait, it's the Umbrella Academy is the place that all the kids actually were when they first got together. Right. The show picks up many years later, and then they do tons of flashbacks and lots of sort of character expose. But you got to get through the first episode though. The first episode is a bit slow. It's not. There's a lot of narrative stuff to put together in order for you to understand what is going to happen later, because a lot of things that are really important you have to have explanations for. So yeah, I feel like it's important to say make it through the first episode.
Well, our boy's in it too from
Tom Hopper.
Tom Hopper,
yeah.
All right, I'm gonna check that out.
It takes a while to see that though, that particular show, because you can only watch it on rainy days.
You are a fool.
Olaf.
So, with that said, we're gonna wrap the show up, and we're gonna start off with Olaf. How can people get you in social media?
Well, you can stalk me on both Facebook and Twitter at Olaf Barbosa, but just don't stalk too close, because I do get nervous and I do have an itchy trigger finger.
All right. And what about you, Jen?
You can find me on social media at Following Bliss One, and my website, moviesmakethemeal.com.
All right. So you can get me at KenteF on Twitter, and also you go to our website, indyradio.org. That's indyradio.org. We will actually be on our regular scheduled night. This was a little different because of some things had to be rearranged due to somebody's whale watching expedition.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you.
But we love nature, so that's why we did it. But we'll be on our normal time, which is Tuesday night at 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 Eastern. You guys have a great and beautiful rest of your week. God bless you. Peace.
Thanks for listening.